Hello everyone and welcome to this Crafter's Toolbox. Today I am doing something a little different. I wanted to share with you how I'm using my Silhouette Studio software to manipulate these new cut files from scrapbook.com. And if you haven't seen, there are new files out there. You can still get the floral sampler pack, which was one that came out over World Card Making Day. You can still get that one for free, so you can give them a try. But they now have 3 more. And today I'll be looking at the Tis the Season file, and it's pretty cool. It comes with a couple of different designs that you can use for scrapbooking, for your planner, or for card making. But the cool thing is that because these are digital files, you can manipulate them and turn them into anything that you'd like to for any kind of project. So this one right here is a project that I did. And it was so easy. I was like, I can't even do a video on this because I simply cut out the cut file and put some mirrored cardstock behind it and poof, the card was done. But what I thought was more important was to show you how to use the software and how to use the files that you get from scrapbook.com to create something like this. So I'm going to flip over to the files that you'll get. So when you purchase the files, you're going to be able to download them instantly, and then you'll want to unzip them, and you'll end up with some things in your folder like this. So you've got a little bit of information from scrapbook.com, including the licensing info, and then a picture of what's included. And then there's 3 separate folders, one for cards, one for planners, and one for scrapbook. And in each of these, you've got some different images, and then you've got these files here. Now if you're in Windows, you're going to see the little E because that's like Internet Explorer, and if I click on this, it will open it up in Internet Explorer, but this is not how we want to actually use them. So you've got the previews that are these PNG files that will show you what they look like. So I'm going to work with the card files today, and I'm going to mash up 2 together. So in my project, you saw that I had the Tis the Season sentiment, but I didn't use this one with just the little snowflakes. I used this one that has the dots and the Christmas trees on it. And you can see that that doesn't actually come together. I've got either Tis the Season, or I have the snowflake or the trees and snowflakes, or just the trees, or Tis the Season with dots. So how did I get these 2 things to go together? That's where the software comes into play for the Silhouette Studio. So you should be familiar with your Silhouette Studio. And the cool thing about these files is that I can just go ahead and click and drag them into place. Now you don't want to click and drag the PNG in place because you're not going to be able to do anything with that except move it around and make it bigger and smaller. You're not going to be able to mess around with it. So you want to bring the SVG file in. And all I have to do is click and drag this in. And there is my file. So now I can click on it and make it bigger or smaller. So if I wanted to do like a 5x7 card, what I'd like to do is just bring my little measurements down here. So like 5, so that's 5 inches. And if I bring it across, I could go to 7. And then I know how big that space is, and I can make this so that it fits in there and things like that. So that's pretty basic. What I did though is I sized this down. I actually ended up doing a funky card size. I ended up doing a 4x6, and then I made a custom envelope. But for the demonstration here, I'm just going to do the 4 1/4 by 5.5 to make it pretty easy. So for the width, I'm going to change this to 5.5, and then hit my little lock here. And click over here on height, and it's going to automatically take that down to 4.25, and then I need to hit enter in order for that sizing to get finalized. So there we go. There's my 4 1/4 by 5.5 card. And then I'm going to bring in the little trees vertical, and you're going to see that this is a different direction. So this is actually 4 1/4 by 5.5. So how I mush these 2 together is I went ahead and first I placed it over the top, and then I made it big enough so that way it fit the 5.5. Now I could do it that way, or I could use my little things up here. I could change this to 5.5 and do the height and click enter, and then it would make it perfect. But that's how you would make it match in width and height. And then I had to tear this whole thing apart, just this top part of the design. So with it selected, I right click and I do release compound path. And basically what that's going to do is make all of these pieces their own little piece instead of one big picture. So release compound path there. And so now you can see I have all sorts of little pieces to work with. So the first thing I'm going to do is click down here and get rid of this rectangle. So I just click on it and I hit delete on my keyboard and poof, it's gone. And that's basically all I need to do for the rest of this. So for the bottom part here that I really don't want any of it, I'm just going to click and drag and then delete all of that at the same time and get rid of it. And I don't know why it didn't grab these little guys, but I will grab them individually. And then the rest of this is just about first deleting the Christmas trees because I don't want all these trees in here. Maybe I wanted that one back. So if you want one back, you can do like Control Z and that will bring them back, or you can use your back and forth buttons here. So delete, delete, delete. And now I have all these little dots, these little snow dots, and I can delete the ones I don't want and I can move around the ones that I do want. So like say I want that one to stick around. I can just use the arrow keys on my computer to move it around. And then like the same thing with this guy here, I can move him around and leave those there. You can just click and drag it with your mouse if you want to. And that's basically all it takes to manipulate these files. So that's pretty cool, right? So now that I have this set, I can go ahead and click and drag to select all. And then I like to group them together so that way if I need to move it around on the sheet in order to print it out with my, or to cut it out with my e-cutter, I've got them all together. So I just selected everything. So I just, again, click and drag to select everything and then right click and group. So you can do that, or you can right click and make compound path, and that will work just as well. And I see that I have a little dot there that I need to fix. So I'm going to select this again and release the compound path and move this guy. I'm going to move him right into the middle of the O. There. I think I'll move him too. All right, so now that you've done all this hard work and you grab everything and you either make a compound path or you group it, either way, you might want to use this again, and it might not be today. So the best thing to do is to save it to your online library, and that is right up here. You see, if you are logged into your Silhouette Studio account, it should have your name up here, and then you should have like all of your downloaded files and any other designs that you might have. And there's a folder here called User Designs, and you can see that I have a couple in here that I have created for various projects. And I have one here that I saved from my card that I used for my project. So all I need to do is go to Design, and then I've got this here, and then I'm just going to go to File, Save As, Save to Library. And then this is going to save it up to the cloud. So this way I don't ever have to worry about losing it. It will always be saved to my account on the Silhouette Studio servers up in the cloud. And if something happens to my computer, I won't lose it. It will always be up there. So now I can just name it. And then if I click OK here, and then if I go back to my library, I will see this one right here, and it's queued because it just needed to get synced, and poof, now it is synced up to the cloud and I will be able to access it anytime. And the other cool thing about this is that if I'm over a friend's house and I'm using their Silhouette Studio, I can go ahead and log them out, log myself in, and get my files and cut them out at their place. So it's really handy to have them stored up on the cloud. All right, so I hope this helps you get started with the new cut files from scrapbook.com. If you have any questions about using your Silhouette Studio, please do post them here in the video or post them over on my blog post on my blog, and I will try to help you out as much as I can. I'm not an expert on Silhouette Studio, but I'm pretty good with the tech stuff, so I'd be happy to help you or try to help you out or send you in the right direction if I know of a video that might help you. If you're using other software, I encourage you to do some searches on Google or on YouTube to find other crafters out there that are using the same tools that you're using. They're always the best resource because they're the ones using them day to day, and we always love to help a fellow crafter out. So thank you for stopping by today, and I hope you enjoy these new scrapbook.com cut files as much as I've been. I'd love to see your projects, so don't forget to post them out on social media and use the hashtag PMRetreat so I can catch them and share them with my followers. I will be back soon with another video, but until next time, happy crafting.